Hello everyone, welcome to another one of our classes in this Yoga for Resilience series. We're back on mindfulness today, and if you did our last mindfulness class, you'll remember that we were looking at how we judge ourselves, so how we get all of these thoughts about how maybe we're not good enough or we need to do more, and we can just tune into those and notice just how much self-judgment there is, because a lot of the time that can bias our thinking and that can erode our hope and confidence if we're constantly thinking we're not good enough and we can't do anything. And so by paying attention to that, by noticing that, we can notice these biased thinking patterns inside ourselves and realize that actually it's just us, it's our internal thoughts that are telling us we can't do things. It's not that we can't actually do them. So we're going to continue on with that today, but we're going to add an extra layer, and I'll talk you through that as we feel, so as we go. So first of all, just find your comfortable seated position, lying down, however you're doing this exercise, and just take a moment to arrive in the practice. Let the rest of the day recede, and just bring some attention to the breath. Allowing our brain to slow down, to pause everything else and come into this class with us. So what I want you to do today is, when you're noticing these thoughts, these judgments we have about yourselves, whether good or bad, if we want to use those labels, I just want you to notice what effect they have on the body. So a lot of the time we might think, oh, there's something else I haven't done, and it's kind of is a sigh of oh, and we don't feel great, and our posture collapses. So there's kind of a physical sensation response, and there's a sadness there, or a frustration there as well. And I just want you to start noticing and connecting up those dots. So when a self-judging thought comes in, might be a thought about how brilliant we are, and we go or it might be a negative thought of I'm never going to get this mindfulness stuff. I'm constantly being distracted, and maybe our posture slumps and we feel down. And I just want you to notice and connect all of those things up. And for the purposes of this exercise, if nothing's come to mind, then you can go searching for things. You can maybe think about the week ahead, some of the challenges, some of the things you're not looking forward to. Maybe bring those to mind and just see what the thoughts are, and how your body reacts to those thoughts entering your head. So why is it important for us to notice these kind of connections between what we're thinking, how the body's responding, how we're feeling? Well, if we think about it from a yoga perspective, yoga is all about the connection between the body and the mind. So if we're thinking one thing, then our body's probably going to follow along with that. Or if we put it into more of a cognitive behavioral framework, we talk about thoughts, feelings, and behaviors all being connected in a triangle, and how one will affect the other. So if we think about being resilient, we need hope, we need confidence that we can overcome these obstacles. And if we're having negative thoughts and then we start feeling negative feelings, and for whatever negative in this context being kind of the opposite of hopeful and confident, and then we start reacting in a very kind of unconfident, unhopeful way of kind of collapsing in and allowing our posture to come down. That's all going to detract from our levels of hope and our levels of confidence. But when we notice this, then we can connect these dots, and then we can choose to do something different. So for the moment, we're just noticing all of this is happening. But as we do that, as we develop that, we can start noticing how this is impacting us, and noticing, oh, well, I don't feel very confident about the future, but maybe it's because I'm constantly judging myself, and when I judge myself, I feel bad and I collapse into this little ball. And actually, maybe that's what's affecting me. It's not that I am not very good. It's not that I can't do it. I'm kind of trapped in this cycle of negatively judging myself, of feeling bad, of receding into myself. And actually, I want to try something different. I want to have that hope and confidence, and I want to be open to the idea of seeing things from a different perspective, of the idea that actually I could choose to be a different way. I could choose to be more hopeful. I could choose to be more confident. So if you have been focusing on the kind of self-critical thoughts so far, I just want you to try and invoke some positive things, some things you're looking forward to, some things that you're good at, some skills that maybe you'll get to use that you like using over the next week, and just notice how your body responds to those. Does it respond differently to the self-critical thoughts? Is there different feelings? Is there a different physical reaction to it? We're going to bring this practice to a close, so bring your attention back to the breath for a moment, and then down into the ground underneath you, whether you're sitting or lying on, bringing your attention back into the space, gently blinking the eyes open if you've had them closed, and just taking a moment to ground yourself and come back into life, reconnecting with what's going on. Maybe going away and reflecting on what you've experienced today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class.